someday to get down to that river and pray. God knows how it feels when I just ain't gotten down to it yet.
The program here in Crandon Park started in 1969 by Mabel Fentress Miller, and she was a 5th grade school teacher, Miami-Dade County. And being a friend of Marjory, she went over to Marjory's house and said, you know, it's really difficult to teach children about nature in the classroom out of a textbook. And she said, wouldn't it be wonderful if we could take them out and they could just see it, touch it, smell it, feel that breeze on their face, smell the ocean, smell low tide, see the birds, the shorebirds. It would just sell itself. And Marjory said, well, we should do that.
The history goes back to 1969 when a group of teachers at Kinloch Park Junior High School got their heads together and went to the school board and said, we have no outdoor program and we would like to operate an outdoor program for you by way of a day camp. And the school system said, well, that's a wonderful idea, but we don't have any money. And we said, but we don't want any money. We are offering to do this for 2 weeks without pay to show you the value of such a thing. Well, finally, the school system said, we found the money, and we said, we don't want to be paid. And they said, well, if you work for us, you have to be. So we said, okay. But they said, however, it would have to be, you would be working with senior high school students who are disadvantaged. Can you do that? And we said, well, they're kids, aren't they? Bring them on. And so in 69 and in 70, we ran very successful summer day camp programs, and that's how we began. We had to find a facility. As a matter of fact, they gave us a garage which had no windows, and we set up aquarium tanks, and at night we'd have to put chunks of ice in the aquaria so that the fish would survive the next day. So the camp was the beginning of this program. Then in 1971, the school system felt that we had been successful for 2 summers in offering a program to inner city children, and said, would some of you teachers like to come and be full-time teachers in a full-time program? And some of us have been there ever since.
We have all the ecosystems here. We have the seagrass beds, we have the hardwood hammock, we have the dune system, we have mangroves, and basically, besides the pine rockland, every ecosystem is right here in Crandon. So you didn't have to get back in the bus and go travel to another location. You could tour and learn about all the ecosystems of Florida in one stop.
It is located among a real collection of environments that we do not have elsewhere in the United States. We started with just 3 teachers, and then after a number of years, the school board saw fit to appoint 4 other teachers.
In 1985, Marjory Stoneman Douglas incorporated the Biscayne Nature Center, and she was the president for many, many years. And when she stepped down as president, and I think in 1985, Marjory was 95 years old, so God bless her heart. You know, imagine starting a corporation at 95. When she stepped down as president, the board thought it would be an honor to call it then the Marjory Stoneman Douglas Biscayne Nature Center. That's so how it got its name.
And she said, that'll be all right.
Yeah. Our most popular trip is the Seagrass Adventure, and that's where you drag nets in the seagrass beds, which is basically the nursery of all the fish in the ocean, and that's right outside the Nature Center. So you drag nets for, what, about a half hour, 45 minutes, and you're going to capture starfish, pufferfish, crabs, shrimp, seahorses, all kinds of stuff. You're going to collect for a while, put all the animals in a bucket, and then they bring them to shore, and a naturalist then tells you what that fish is, who they're related to, what they eat, you know, the whole food chain, how all nature, you know, plays a role in each other's existence.
Almost like a magical world when you get kids in the outdoors. I think there's something innate in us that draws us to nature. And when they get into these natural settings, For one thing, they're good as gold. I had a teacher say to me once, "You see that boy over there? He is the naughtiest child in class, but he's just behaving himself beautifully." And it's because they are drawn to nature, and then that there are adults who are sympathetic with the needs of kids. And with the teacher program, for example, we not only work in the seagrass, but in the mangroves at times, and also in the coastal hammock. This is a forest in the uplands, and there's great diversity in each of these habitats, and the kids are just charmed by it all, by the whole learning experience.
We have a beach walk down to the fossilized mangrove reef in Crandon Park, which is, I think, only one of 2 in the whole world. And then we have the laboratory classroom, where it's a progressive lab, where there's 18 stations and 2 people at a station, so it holds, 35 people or so. And every 5 minutes you move to a different station. And you're usually sitting in front of a 55-gallon fish tank, and each fish tank has a different species in it, a different family of species, and you get to measure it, touch it, look at it.
It's a very stimulating thing to be working with a specific part of our environment like this that is so native to the country, that is the real lowdown, that is the real thing, and feel that that Mabel Frances Miller has been able to give to so many children in Dade County the feeling of their native land.
She always believed in it, and I think in all her projects, whether she was going to save the Everglades, put water in the grove, giving women's right the right to vote, no was not an answer for Marjory.
It was one of the best kept secrets that though she founded Friends of the Everglades, and is very well known for that she took the initiative to help form this nonprofit group. And she was up front with it too. She went to the county commission, she went to the school board, and she promoted it personally because she had a personal interest, and she knew that all of us had the same philosophy that she has, that we have to guard and protect the environments, and that we must make people, particularly young people, aware so that they can care. And she just put her shoulder to the wheel to benefit everybody.
This Nature Center is one of the best possible ways of introducing new people to the values that we have here, of which we feel are so important. I think this is going to spearhead a great deal more than you have any idea of. It's going to be enormously important.
We have a lot of youngsters who come out to the environmental program who have never seen the ocean, some of our inner city kids. They are very, very wary of going in. Now the problem is once we get them in, they become so enthralled, it's hard to get them out. They are sold very quickly on something that was a mystery to them before.
In 1998, the Marjory Stoneman Douglas Biscayne Nature Center successfully raised $3.6 million and built Marjory's Nature Center by the Sea. The mission of the center is to encourage better citizen participation in the conservation of our natural environment.
We have over 30,000 people come through the Nature Center a year. 200 children a day come on a field trip, and they walk the trails, which is behind me, with 165 acres of pristine hammock. It's left in its natural state. Whether the hurricanes come, the hurricanes go. We try to instill in the 200 children that come every day is fight for your passion. You know, not everyone is enthralled with the Everglades. Who doesn't like mosquitoes? The outdoors isn't for everyone, but if you're interested in something or about something, take it as far as you can. One person can make a difference. I think that's and I think that's her legacy for everyone.
Our life in modern life today is so complex. It's so full of machinery. We can't afford to get away from nature. Nature is the fundamentals of our life. We have to get back to the earth and the knowledge of earth, because we are only a few steps away from it, and we must keep in touch with it for our own health and strength.
gonna do it, just gonna get right.